Let's say you're a male and you get off at the bus stop and there's a woman gets off at the same time as you and you happen to be walking behind her. So you're essentially following her in a sense, but you're walking in the same direction because your home's that way and she's looking back and she's expressing fear in her mind. And this happens again the next day. You're get off the bus and you go, oh boy, I didn't mean to cause her concern or anything because it just happens to be my route and we get off at the same time. Well, that's the topic of the video today. When does following some become criminal harassment under the criminal code? And let's first of all talk about the criminal code. The section 264 of the criminal code is a very serious offense. It talks about harassment and there's different forms of harassment. And the bottom line is the following has to cause objective fear in the person. That's the important issue. But the other thing is, look at it this way. They have to have fear of your behavior. You don't have to attend the behavior because you can be reckless about it. So let's go back to that example. Now, in that example, you've got a person who just happens to be on the same route. So that's clearly not. There was no intent by you. You weren't reckless about it. You had no intent. And the woman's fear, after it was explained to her, is unreasonable. It was explained by the police, just happens to be on the same route and it's going to continue. Let's take another example. One time following someone is not criminal harassment. It happens to be repeatedly. So repeatedly could be twice in certain situations, or it could be more. But the bottom line is the person who you're following has to have that objective fear that a reasonable person would have. You have to have some degree of criminal intent. It could be reckless, that you weren't aware of it, that it was causing fear, but you're reckless in that regard. In other words, you put your mind to it, but just put it over your heart. You didn't really care. Okay, there's different concepts of intent, and one of them is recklessness. Another is willful blindness, where you set your mind to something and you just intentionally look away and don't worry about it, but you know it's wrong behavior. So this is a serious criminal offense. We have situations where a person's feeling harassed, they're fearing for their safety. It's a psychological thing because it's worrisome. We've all seen movies with people, stalkers we call them, following people. And the bottom line is you should never follow someone, and you should never do it repeatedly. You should know that's harassing a person. A lot of people in this situation, domestics in breakups, a jealous husband following a person to see where they're going, whether they're got a new boyfriend. Some people become obsessed in this situation. Obviously, if you're being stalked or harassed in this fashion, you need to phone the police. And it's a serious criminal offense. I mean, I've seen situations of people who just won't give up. They've been warned by the police, they keep following, and it's a jailable offense. You're going to wind up in jail for this type of offense, so just don't do it. Of course, there's other forms of harassment where you're continually phoning someone and bothering them and causing some objective fear. You don't have to threaten them either. Harassment's a feeling. It's if an outside person was experiencing the same set of facts, would it be objectively reasonable that they're fearful? Well, obviously, a woman who's being repeatedly followed by a man is going to have fear, particularly at nighttime, but daytime, anytime. So there you have it. Here's the bottom line, that stalking, that is persistently following someone, becomes harassment at the point that objective fear. It can't be just once. You could follow someone once. I don't recommend you do that, by the way, but the case law and the section clearly says repeatedly. So repeatedly is 2 or more, which causes that person to fear for their safety, which is the very definition of criminal harassment. So there you have it. Thanks for joining me today. That's the takeaway. Don't do this behavior. Obviously, if you do, you should retain a lawyer, but know this, in many harassment situations, you're going to jail, and you probably deserve it if you're engaged in this type of conduct. So if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and we'll look forward to seeing you on our next video. Thank you for watching our video. We are absolutely committed to bringing you the best possible criminal and DUI educational videos. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've been charged with a criminal offense in Ontario and require our services, please click on the link in the description below.